y'all who have seen some of these bill signings. We had a bunch of great bills that we're going to sign today, but we're going to start off with a little bit of fun. Sheriff, you back again? How many of these bills y'all got? I mean, we're just racking them up, huh? Almost as good as LSU this week. So we'll start off having a little fun with a proclamation, and then we'll bring the Orleans delegation to talk about the Sewerage and Water Board. And I would just again remind everyone that what today symbolizes is the continual promise that we made to people in the state of Louisiana. Not only me, but many of the legislators that are here today as well, in working through public safety issues, working through educational issues to let teachers teach, and then working through economic issues as well. And so now we'll start off with a little bit of fun. How about that, huh? All right. So we're making today not on Herb Day, huh? How about that? So we're signing a proclamation on behalf of Herb Jones, unbelievable defensive player. Goes to show you that you can create stardom not just by scoring baskets, right, but by taking the ball away from those who are trying to score baskets. And so we're going to do a proclamation on Herb Day, and we're going to keep his hat here while we sign all the bills, right? It's too bad we couldn't have got Herb here. Huh? Y'all don't like that, huh? I see y'all smiling. All right. All right, Herb. All right, we'll get these over.
Representative Green.
Send that to Herb and
Representative Green, and the ladies from Femme Fatale, would you please come up?
okay, we do. Yeah. The Mystic Group. All right. In the continual fashion that we've been, we allow the legislators to explain these instruments that we're getting ready to sign into law. And of course, we have Representative Kyle Green.
Well, first of all, thank you, Governor, for graciously agreeing to participate in this bill signing ceremony for these ladies. And so what I'm going to do, if you'd indulge me, Governor, is I'm going to ask the founding member, one of the founding members, Ms. Kimberly Early, who's the president of the Mystic Crew of Femme Fatale, to kind of briefly explain the organization and how this bill came about.
Hi, everyone. I am Kimberly Early, the president and founding member of the Mystic Crew of Femme Fatale, along with 12 other founders of the Mystic Crew of Femme Fatale. This organization was founded to be a part of the Mardi Gras culture and social events of the city of New Orleans. We are very excited about this bill. We are able to participate in more community engagements for the city of New Orleans and to help the ladies of the organization. So we do have some gifts for our governor.
Oh, thank you.
Some of our throws that we throw to our to the parade boards that come, and I know that you'll be excited about it. We have heard when we walked in the building, everybody was excited to see us, and they were aware of some of our throws. So I hope that you're excited to have them as well.
We're getting early throws. Early throws. All right. All right. Sign these. And we'll give, how about we give the crew first? Huh?
Absolutely.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
All right. And then Carl.
Thank you, Governor.
Anyone else? Do we have any others that we have? Huh?
Yes. How many you got?
I got another one right here. How about that? All right.
Thank you, Governor.
We'll let him distribute if y'all need them. How about that?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank y'all so very much.
Thank you for having us.
Will the Orleans delegation and the Sewerage and Water Board Task Force please go to the table?
Okay. All right. Look, I think that this is probably, I think, an historic moment. Some very, very important pieces of legislation that will begin to correct the problems and the deficiencies that we know all exist at the Sewage and Water Board. What's amazing is that anyone you talk to in the city recognizes that there are some deficiencies there. And in the times that we've met with the Orleans delegation, they have recognized that too. And so the transition committee and the committee that we put together to look into ways that we could improve the deficiencies at the Sewage and Water Board found three key areas. One was billing, one was drainage, and the other was operation. And so the bills that we are going to sign today and that are becoming law deal with all three of those. And then the first one is going to be yours, Stephanie.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. You want to?
Look, Governor, I really appreciate your leadership on this issue. My colleagues that stand behind me, we have been working tirelessly on this for years. This represents a huge step forward. The billing piece is so crucial in restoring trust in the sewage and water board system for the residents of New Orleans. This is going to offer such a relief for those residents. I appreciate all of my colleagues who stand behind me. We have worked in a bipartisan fashion in looking to resolve this issue. Thank you, Governor, for your attention on this issue. It has been crucial in galvanizing everyone and getting those conversations to the finish line. And this represents a huge step forward for us. And thank you to our council members at home for helping us with this issue as well. Again, my thanks to you, because you're the one that said this is going to be a priority. We're going to help get this on the right track. And so for your leadership and my colleagues behind me, thank you.
Absolutely. And look, I appreciate all of the legislators behind us in working with this and on this topic. I know that we've got this bill here, which deals with the billing. We have one from Senator Harris that fixes the drainage portion, right? There you go. Where you were, Senator. And then also Senator Harris and Senator Hilfrey have one that works on the overall operation and planning. What's that? Oh yeah, Willard. Yeah, Willard. Where's yours? Which one? Oh, those are two that we don't have yet?
Yes.
Okay, you want to just explain? Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, certainly I appreciate your attention to Sewage and Water Board, Governor Landry. In the city of New Orleans, Sewage and Water Board is a major quality of life factor. People in the city get sticker shock when they open their water bills, and that should not be the case. When you go to a grocery store, Governor, the clerk doesn't charge you for how much they think your cart costs. They ring each item up, and then you pay for what you actually buy. The same should be true for Sewage and Water Board bills. So my bill is pretty simple and straightforward, Governor. All it says is that the Sewage and Water Board can only bill for actual consumption, no more estimated bills. So that's what my bill does. And again, I appreciate your partnership on this legislation and everything related to Sewage and Water Board. Thank you.
Jimmy, you want to talk a little bit about the consolidation?
Yes, I'll say a couple of things. Again, as I stated in committee, one, thank you, Governor, for everything it is that you've done with this. What I want for everyone in here to recognize is, as it relates to this bill, the language of this bill comes from our city council. Language in the bill comes from the governor's office. Language in the bill comes from the Orleans delegation. So this is truly a bill that everyone has put skin in the game on. And it's simple. All we're simply saying is drainage should be the responsibility of the Sewage and Water Board. Currently, the city's Department of Public Works is responsible for catch basins and small pipes, anything 36 inches down. So that means when your street is flooding and Sewage and Water Board goes out to clean the pipes, they have to wait for DPW to come and clean, and then they do their job. That makes no sense. This is something that's been in effect since '92. For years and years, we've been trying to figure out what's the best way to get to this point. We've gotten here. We've put amendments on bills to pay for it. So when people say, oh, well, how we're going to pay for it, it's paid for. And we have a city council that's steadfast to make sure that it continues to be paid for. So again, it's just common sense stuff. But I just want to thank this delegation, Governor, again, as you and I have talked several times about this. I appreciate you and everything you've done, Millard, your staff, everything. They've really worked hard on this legislation. And just for everyone's knowledge, is up for concurrence today in the Senate, and it will pass.
This is how Jimmy absolutely guaranteed that it was going to be concurrent. All right, thank y'all so much.
Thank you,
Absolutely,
Governor.
thank you. All right. For y'all. One, we'll get one for each one of the delegation members. And of course, this also signifies the first step, right? This is in no way do we believe that this is going to be the panacea or that tomorrow the sewage and water board is going to be fixed. But this is a committed effort on the delegation and the city council and my part to address some of the problems that are plaguing the city. There we go. All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank y'all. Yep. So these are the ones.
Next up, Representative Bro, House Bill 651.
This one belongs to y'all. Representative Bro, this is continued down our path of trying to control insurance costs.
Correct, Governor. Yeah, this is this deals with the Fraudulent Insurance Act, and what it does is it adds an additional provision to the Fraud Act, where if someone provides a fraudulent invoice or any type of document, whether it's an insurance claim, whether it's the insured or the insurer, they would be under this. They would fall under this act, and the department would have ability to subpoena those records and further review and hopefully prevent more insurance fraud, which costs us all in our premiums.
There we go. This is a continued effort to try to lower our insurance premiums in this state. And I'm absolutely excited to sign this bill. So,
Oh, okay. Thank you, Governor.
thank you.
Thank you.
Will the sheriffs, the chiefs, Representative Fontenot, Representative Johnson, chiefs, sheriffs, will y'all please come up? House Bill 173.
Okay. All right. And again, this is part of our continual pledge to address public safety in the state. And this was a bill that had been vetoed before. It is now going to be signed. So you want to tell us about it?
Yes, I think first and more importantly, that it's such an honor to serve next to a governor who once wore a badge and the men and women behind us who are sworn to protect us. I think you see across America that violence on police officers continue to rise, and there was a delicate balance of finding a safe distance for police officers to be able to do their job, both for them and the person that they are affecting an arrest on. So certainly working with the governor's staff and himself and the law enforcement professionals, we think this is a good place to fall. This is a bill that's enacting all across America that gives our police officers a peace of mind and a safe distance to do their job.
Make it Louisiana safe. There you go. One for Sheriff Fabian, one for y'all. How about Mike? All right. Thank you. Sir. Thank you. Sheriff, thank you so much. Absolutely. All right. Thank you. All right. So much we like.
Next bill is House Bill 64 by Representative Stagney dealing with nitrous oxide. Will the families please come up?
All right. Representative Stagney? Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Appreciate
And then you have some.
Yeah,
Hey.
some family, you know.
Thank you, Governor. Here, friends, the problems.
Thank y'all.
Joe, you want to introduce your guests?
I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, starting to your left, Governor.
Kenny Swenson, Tom Bromley.
Virginia Ball. I'm Samantha McCann.
Greg Conley.
Joe, you want to tell them about
Representative
chairman?
Billy O, the Hammer.
Yeah.
We, Debbie and I first saw some reports on Fox 8 News, and then separate people approached us both about filing a bill to do something about the nitrous oxide problem that we're having. It's a growing, an emerging epidemic, at least in South Louisiana, and we believe all throughout the state. It is extremely toxic, extremely addictive, and it may be, if not permanently, harmful for a very long time. And Mr. Campbell is here because his daughter, he found his daughter having this problem, and she's still well over a year later trying to get over it. And so we thought it was very important to go after both the retailers and the manufacturers. We have a strong law and order governor. We have a strong law and order attorney general, and we intend to make some cases so that this problem hopefully goes away permanently. That type of substance is only supposed to be used for a few things, and it's not recreational drugs.
That's correct. And so this is an absolute public safety bill that that we hope further protects kids and so that parents out there are not affected by this. And one way to help them is to make sure that the ability for them to get it is limited. So we want to thank. All right. How about we get each one of the. Want to give absolutely. All right. Good. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Representative Stagney, if you'll stay for House Bill 322.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kim? Is Kim here? Oh, he has another, which one? Oh, the student. Oh, all right, now we're getting ready to let teachers teach,
That's right.
right? And again, I think that this is, last week, for the press that's here, we held a press conference under which Superintendent Kate Brumley came and started walking through his Let the Teachers Teach project, which, by the way, again, was a culmination. The report included input from over 30 somewhat odd teachers, public school teachers, and that based upon their input, based upon their recommendations, is what part of this legislation is. And so, Joe, you want to talk about
Well,
it?
the Louisiana Federation of Teachers brought this bill to me. I'm a chiropractic physician by profession. A number of assistants that I've had over years have been teachers. And as I started calling them, I ran across one that there was 9 reports on a student. And on the 10th one, she was assaulted. The student was back in the classroom before the teacher was. And that's unfortunate because if we don't let teachers teach, good students are not learning, good teachers are not soaring to the limits, soaring to the heights that they can. So this bill, to my surprise, I had to work with a number of stakeholders, but we have a good bill, and Dr. Brumley and others have all been very supportive, and we hope that this will let teachers teach.
Great. Thank you, Joe. I think it's a great bill. Really do.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor.
Representative Bayham, House Bill 125.
Oh, yo. Okay, great. Let's see something. Where? going. All right, okay. Hey, how's it going? Good. Let's see where we at here. This one is. So which one is this? 125. Okay, here it is. All right. Mike?
Governor?
Again, this is part of our package of let teachers teach and improve our public school system. No?
No.
This is, which one is this?
You assault a bus driver, you double the penalties.
Well, yeah, well, that's, they in part of the school system.
It's transit, but.
There you go. Why don't you explain the bill?
So this bill came about because our public bus drivers were literally on the front lines during COVID. They were the most apt to be exposed, and they did their jobs to help keep society moving. And unfortunately, during that same period, there was an uptick on violence in some of our bus drivers. And we wanted to ensure that our drivers were protected and the public is protected, because if a driver is assaulted while operating this giant vehicle, they could potentially cause an accident, run into pedestrians and injure people on the bus and off the bus. So this is something that tries to protect our drivers, protect our society and our community, and let the bus drivers know that they have a very important role. The state is going to protect them from assault. So, Governor, I appreciate you agreeing to sign this bill. We have a representative from the RTA here.
Hi, I'm Mark Raymond Jr. I'm the chairman for the RTA. And one of the main complaints that we get is that our operators feel like they are under attack. And to see that we are taking steps to make them feel safe, make them feel heard and seen is really important. And that's why I'm here today. So thank you, Governor.
And I think this is, again, part and parcel of additional bills, like we talked about, discipline in the classroom, respect for teachers, respect for bus drivers. It just seems that society as a whole has lost some respect for those that are out there trying to care for them, educate them, or even transport them. So, absolutely. There you go.
My Governor,
My pleasure. And
it's my first bill.
is that your first bill too?
First bill.
All right, well, we'll give you that one.
Governor,
Thank you. And then Representative Phelps. Phelps here? No? Who's coming up next? Oh, the universal licensure?
Senator Presley, Representative Owen, Chairman
Senator
Desatel, Pelican
Presley.
Institute, anyone up for the universal licensure bill, SB 60 and HB 716. Would you please come up?
Okay. Senator, how's it going?
Safe.
Good to see you. Senator? All right. Universal, now this is part of our economic package. Senator, you want to explain that
Yeah,
to the press?
absolutely. So what we're trying to do here is make sure that Louisiana is open for business. So we know that there are qualified people that want to live in Louisiana that are qualified for occupational licenses in other states. And so what we're simply doing is allowing them, if they have a clear ability to do their job, they've done it for a period of time and they have no background check issues, that they can come to Louisiana and continue to be a hairdresser or a barber or whatever occupation that you have, a plumber. I think it's a really important step in the right direction. We appreciate your leadership, Governor, in making sure that Louisiana is open for business.
Well, Senator, I want to thank the legislature because I believe that this was one of the bills that evaded the state for a long time. This starts to remove the barriers of entry for those people around the country that are looking for places to live and want to go and employ their trade. This helps us. This makes Louisiana open for business. It creates a welcoming mat for professionals and other skilled persons to come in and be a part of a great economy we're going to build here, right, Chuck?
Yes, sir, Governor. I just want to thank you for your leadership. Thank the Pelican Institute and your staff for working on this. Our doors are going to be open for people to come home to Louisiana. Governor, as you said.
Thank you, Chuck. And we'll give one to the Pelican. Hey, is this the first, bill signing? The pen you get? Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Senator McMath,
Okay, this is another
Secretary Abraham,
economic.
will the hospitals please come up? Doctors, this is for SB 165.
Hey, this is my doctor right here. Can I violate HIPAA? As you say it, I'm okay.
How are you? Good to see you.
It keeps me going. This, I want to, I think this is a very important bill, and it's been an issue that has evaded the medical community for quite some time now. And I want to say thank you to Senator McMath and the legislature for finding a common sense solution to ensuring that doctors have the ability to move throughout their practice around the state of Louisiana, because we all know that right now in the healthcare sector, it's hard to find professionals. We've got a shortage of nurses, of doctors, of PAs, and whatnot. And so, Senator, you want
Yeah,
to
thank you, Governor. So,
elaborate?
so
on
what we did with Senate Bill 165 is it puts restrictions on physician non-competes. This is something that has been tried in one shape, form, or fashion for the last several years, and we were able to get it across the finish line. I don't think it received one no vote. It'll benefit physicians, it'll benefit the patients, the people of Louisiana, and it'll make Louisiana a more attractive place for physicians as we continue to grow this state in one shape, form, or fashion. And I got to tell you, I have to thank everybody here behind me. This bill was a product of countless hours, meetings, phone calls, and in particular, Secretary Abraham, Dr. Abraham, his input and his support really helped shape this bill and to what we're signing today. So I want to thank everybody that was a part of it. Thank the governor, and this is going to be great for Louisiana.
And I think, again, to echo what Senator McMath is saying, is that behind us is not only the leadership of Secretary Abraham and his staff, but also represented behind us, I think almost all of the major network players, even in the rural healthcare sector, in OSHAs, in FMOL. And so again, I want to compliment them for actually getting to the table, rolling their sleeves up, understanding that this is an issue that affects the economic viability of the state as well. And so it is my pleasure to sign this bill today. And same.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Ralph, Rock, you want one?
Yes, sir.
Ralph, would you want one? Absolutely.
I'm going to come up tonight, though. We're celebrating.
Yes, absolutely. Of course you can. I'm taking all my vitamins too.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks again, Governor.
If anyone needs some more, we'll make sure anyone needs some. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much.
Senator Connett, Commissioner Strain, the crawfish processors, would y'all please come up for SB 166, seafood safety?
Senator, hey, how you doing? Good to see y'all. Thanks. Senator?
Morning.
All right, this You want to explain to them the importance of this bill?
Yeah, this bill is to help our shrimpers and fishermen in Louisiana. You know, for years, you go to the supermarket and you see a package of Boudreaux's crawfish or somebody's shrimp, and it has Boudreaux's recipes and crawfish etouffee. And you look at the back of the label, it says product of China, a product of Mexico, a product of Indonesia. These are the hardworking folks who they can't fish right now because the prices are so low. What this bill does, if you are going to sell, we can't stop foreign shrimp and foreign crawfish to come into the United States or Louisiana. But if you do, you have to clearly mark where it's coming from. If you want to buy Mexican crawfish, do it. If you want to buy Louisiana crawfish and Louisiana shrimp, do it. But it's going to be clearly labeled. And that's what the bill does. It's truth in advertising.
And I think it starts to put into place the fact that the quality of the seafood in Louisiana is above board. I mean, it's first class. And you wouldn't go down to an auto dealership and buy a Mercedes for, a Honda price. And I think, like Senator Connick said, is that if you want to purchase seafood from other countries, no problem. You should know what it is. But for the hardworking men and women in Louisiana who ply their trade on the Gulf Coast, we want to make sure that the quality of the seafood that is labeled in those stores, that people understand exactly what they're purchasing. So,
Governor, I want to thank Senator Fred Mills and the people of the Seafood Task Force who pushed this legislation. This is one of a small step of many that we need to do to help these fishermen survive.
Yeah, great.
Next bill is SB 148, Senator Mizell. Senator Mizell, the retailers, would y'all please come up? This bill deals with postpartum depression.
Yes, they're here.
Hello, sir.
All right, thank you. Senator,
Hello there.
how are you? Oh, we got Dave. How you doing? Great. All right. Senator Mizell, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Governor. It's an honor to be here. And I think we all know that historically Louisiana has been on the bottom of the list in every way on maternal wellness. This bill opens the door to address that. We know that maternal wellness, the worst outcomes are over that first year. And the intent of this bill is to address postpartum depression and to open the doors so that it's more accessible to a lot of the women that need it. And I appreciate the support of the legislature. The guys behind us have been incredible in clarifying it to the legislators who had questions on how this would work. And I'm thankful we got it to the finish line. You are the finish line.
Yeah, I am. Well, and I want to thank Senator Mizell and the legislature as well. I think that this is, again, another piece of the puzzle that we have to continue to put in place to deal with mental health. I think that around the country as a whole, we're dealing with a national mental health crisis. And I certainly want to thank Senator Mizell for her leadership in beginning that process and starting with women as well. You're always protecting women.
Trying. Actually, I'm just gonna tell you a great thing. So we leave here and there will be a ribbon cutting in the lactation room at the Capitol. The first time the Capitol has had an actual lactation room. So it's a big day. It's a big day for maternal care.
Oh, great. All right.
Thank you, Governor. That one.
Oh, yeah, you got your pick? I think you took it off. Oh, yeah.
He gets one. Okay.
I'll get you one. Joe, that's it? You want one? Hold on, look. I got one more.
You still got a room full.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. And
The next bill, SB 133, Senator Presley. Will
this is
Health
an important
Freedom,
bill.
Senator Presley.
as well. You want to do both of them at the same time? You want to do both these bills at the same time?
I can bring my sister in. Yeah, we can do both.
Oh, your sister them are here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do 133.
Okay, all right. The next bill is Senator Presley's bill dealing with the World Health Organization, the United Nations, and the World Economic Forum. I don't want to steal his thunder, so I'll let him say a little bit and then I can close through. Hey, Jill.
Thank you, Governor. We know that international organizations are trying to take over some of the power and control of our system of government, both in Louisiana and nationally. And so what we did is come in and say that the World Health Organization, the United Nations, and the World Economic Forum shall have no jurisdiction or power within the state of Louisiana. That does not forbid them from giving recommendations, but they are not going to have the power to implement rules or taxes or any other thing without the decision being made by the legislature and by being signed into law by the governor. I think it's a common sense piece of legislation and one that's picked up a lot of momentum over the last few weeks as the World Health Organization has tried to take more power. But I really want to thank Representative Edmonston and Senator Hodges for their leadership and their work on this legislation as well.
And I want to thank Senator Presley and the legislature because this was an issue that we saw under which those organizations began to encroach upon the daily lives of Americans and those in Louisiana as well. We have a wonderful document. It's called the United States Constitution that dictates how our government structure is run and exactly who has the ability to affect the lives of American citizens and here in Louisiana as well. And so I want to compliment the legislature and Senator Presley and those behind us, Gene Mills, Hines, who's here. She was at the Supreme Court with us the other day as well. That's how important this is. And thank them for their support as well. And Thomas, I'll give you this one.
Thank you.
One for Jill. And then one for G. How about for the young man? How about that? All right.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you much.
Senator Presley, if you'll stay, will the Family Forum, will Right to Life, Ms. Wicker, anyone here for SB 276, will y'all please go up to the table?
Oh, yeah. I think he's gonna grab his sister.
One moment as we grab some very special guests.
I think we're waiting on Senator Presley's sister. Oh. All right. How are you? How's it going? You want to sit with me? Why don't you sit? Okay, I'm gonna scoot. All right. This is an important piece of legislation.
It's tricky.
Oh, you. Put you sitting right there. There you go. This is where it counts, right? She has a pen. Senator?
Yeah, Governor, this piece of legislation was brought in honor of my sister Catherine and my niece Josephine. Catherine was the victim of a terrible domestic violence attack when Josephine was in utero about 12 weeks along. Her husband at the time attempted to kill Josephine by placing abortion pills, misoprostol in particular, into her drink. Catherine drank the first one, a large portion of it, and realized that she was having a medical emergency. She then realized what was going on, was able to get the medical help that she needed in order to stop the terrible events that were likely to happen. She also collected the evidence. She collected 6 different drinks after the first one, which contained misoprostol. And again, an effort to kill my niece. This bill initially was to deal with the after effects of the crime. We created the Criminal Coerced Abortion Act, which provides that during the first trimester of a woman's pregnancy, if an individual does this to them, they will serve no less than 5, no more than 10 years and have a fine. And in the second and third trimesters, due to the additional harm that can be done to the woman, we increased the crime to 10 years minimum with a 20-year maximum. We also, during the course of this legislation's journey through the legislative process, tried to figure out what we could do to be more proactive. And so we placed misoprostol and misoprotein into the Controlled Substances Act as a Schedule 4 drug, which is the same place that many other common drugs that are prescribed for legitimate healthcare needs are placed, including ADD medication, including Ambien and sleep medication. But we felt like this was an important step to stop bad actors from getting these drugs that can cause significant harm to a woman and certainly to an unborn baby.
And I know, look, I think, quite frankly, there has been a lot of misinformation around this country about this bill. This is absolutely a protective measure that protects women in the state of Louisiana. I'm certainly proud to sign this bill and to stand with women here in the state of Louisiana, and thank the Senate and the legislature for bringing it. You want to sign it for us? Huh? And while it's not only personal to Senator Presley, it certainly is personal to many of the women around the state that know now that if people out there would take advantage of them this particular way, they're going to go to jail.
That's right. Well, and I also want to be very clear. When these drugs are needed for legitimate healthcare reasons, doctors, nurse practitioners, and physician's assistants will continue to be able to prescribe these medications for legitimate healthcare needs. Abortion is already illegal in Louisiana. These drugs will continue to be able to be dispensed when it's for a legitimate healthcare need that is not an elective abortion.
That's right. And it protects unborn.
Absolutely. Thank you, Governor.
Can you say thank you? Can you blow a kiss?
That's okay. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. All right, I think that concludes the bill signing. Sure.
Governor, you said that Senator Hodges' board is still listening about higher ed. There's some concerns like it's affecting accreditation. Do you have any concerns about this?
I do not have any concerns about accreditations. I think that anybody who says that that bill affects accreditation of universities is absolutely not telling the truth. We've looked through the accreditation process, and there is no problem with that.
Governor, why did you veto Rosa Plessis's bill SB 287?
Let's see now, 280. Which one
It
was
has to
that?
do with the food deserts.
With the which one?
With the food deserts, with the nutrition, trying to get fresh produce.
Yeah, look, here's one thing that I've always stood for is and we talked about this in our educational package as well, and we talked about it with teachers. We do not intend to legislate unfunded mandates. That bill did not have any funding attached to it, nor was there any more funding available from the federal government for that program as well. So there's no sense in order to put things on the books, not to use them. So
Unfortunately, that's the
appreciate it.
last question we can see. Can I ask one more?
You're gonna have to ask the legislature.